everything that we've learned from operating a portfolio, a diverse portfolio, not just single family real estate or storage or commercial or anything else that we got going on. It's everything that we're doing that we're going to try to convey to you guys. Our performance does not mean you're going to have the same performance. Hopefully it's better. If it's worse, blame Mike, not me. And if you don't like the curse in the doors at the back, but that is that. So as Spear said, let's fucking go. No other housekeeping thing to do. If you guys get any value out of this, if you're enjoying what Mike's doing, Storage Rebellion's got an Instagram and Facebook. If you guys want to tag Equity Warehouse, appreciate it. Because we're here for you. And as this group grows, because we're sharing with everybody what we're doing, what we're learning, and how we're doing it. So my background, I was a fireman for the city of Baltimore for 15 years. Anybody watch The Wire? Great show. Go back, watch it. People from Maryland will tell you it is true. Everything that happens in Baltimore City is true. When we had the riots in 2000, whatever year, that's the firehouse I worked at in the middle of the hood. I was able to quit my job last year, or a year and a half ago, because of this group. I had a ton of real estate going on, and they all said, "You're an idiot. You need to quit." And I was like, "Nah, man." And all these Life and Air guys in the group, which this is my Life and Air. Sorry, Bite couple other guys. I get to make fun of all the Life and Airs, but they were right, and they got me to quit my job. Best thing I ever did, going all in on real estate. We invest in single family, multifamily, industrial, storage, and we like value add properties. That's what we do. We have about 700,000 square feet of storage, and we're actively acquiring and growing. Most of our stuff's in the Southeast United States. This is one of our properties in the bottom half that we bought last year. So I like to start all my presentations out with some sort of quote. And I was looking through, I said, this is a good one. 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate, right? Andrew Carnegie said that, and then should say, we don't pay taxes because we own real estate under that. Maybe I'll requote this thing. But I thought that was fitting, man. Like, millionaires not just about money. It's about life. It's about everything. It's about doing what you want, how you want. I guess I'll steal the Life and Air guys stuff, right? Like, that's why it's called that millionaire, right? Like, you'd be a millionaire in any way, shape, or form. Usually I leave a title slide in here. Carlson's seen it. Shock's seen it. Actually, the last one we did, normally it says A players want to be with A players, and B players want to be in a room full of C players. And if you guys don't know what that means, you're probably a B player, right? Like, so let's all be A players and keep this thing leveled up and keep it going and grow. So I have a bunch of stuff. I'll have my underwriting template, the PowerPoint presentation. Go ahead, pull your phones out, get a picture of this now, because then we're going to put our phones away and we're actually going to learn. So equitywarehouse.com/DallasSRU. There's a bunch of good stuff in there. You guys will get it and go from there. So ground rules to underwriting. Who thinks here that I know everything about underwriting and I got some secret sauce, some secret trick? Liar, you're a liar. Liar, 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 right? Like, I don't know anything. Underwriting is a subjective thing. Everyone does it different. John Lindsay, who's the broker, he's going to be like, yeah, man, you got a badass property. Here's the number. He's going to give you some stupid number, right? And you're like, yeah, this is it. I'm going to follow John's underwriting. Wrong. I look at no offense, John and Matt. I look at every broker's underwriting template and say, they're on point. Okay, I'm probably not going to buy this deal. They're an idiot. This is the deal I'm going to buy, right? Because everyone's underwriting is different. Everyone runs deals different. Mike's already alluded to it. We all do it differently. This isn't high school. This isn't algebra or whatever school stuff that we used to do back in the day, and you have to show your work. We show our work because when we have our capital investors come into the deal, I want them to know what we're thinking and what our expectations of the deal is when we're doing it. Whereas if you're new to this, you're doing an underwriting template to cross your T's and dot your I's because you're your own investor in your own deal, right? I went to this luncheon at one of our banks in Baltimore, and they had the guy from Caves Valley Partners. Most of you guys don't know what that is, but they own Caves Valley, the golf course where they hosted the BMW Championship. And he gets up there. He was doing a talk like this about underwriting, and I'm like, yo, dude, this is it. He's going to talk about commercial underwriting. I'm pumped. And this man got up there. His name's Art, and he starts talking, and he's like, yo, dude, like, it's an if game. I'm like, if what? Like, if we're going to make money, right? Like, it's real simple. He's like, no, if your underwriting goes right, if the roof doesn't blow off, if your insurance comes in the right price, if this happens, if that happens, if all this stuff happens, we might not lose money, right? Like that's the goal number one. And if it all goes right and nothing gets screwed up when you're operating it, which I'm sure Terry's going to talk about operations tomorrow, if you could do all this stuff right, it is nothing more than an if game, and you might make $1. So the point of this is there is no right answer. Shock, how many times you've been beating me up to sit down and underwrite a deal with you? And I said, Shock, you've been in real estate for, how long you been in real estate, man? You've done it all. 18, and he's like 21, so 3 years, right? Because the fucking guy can outdrink all of us, so let's leave that there. But anyway, long story short, this man's been in real estate forever, and he's going, I don't get it, I don't get it. Well, I did the same thing with Mike, and Mike's like, what are you doing, man? It's real simple, right? But there's no right answer. You need to find a way when you're underwriting that it makes sense to you, that you understand what you're walking through, and that you can present it to yourself, to your bank, to other people. And the underwriting template, I believe, only because I'm talking about this, is the pillar to your business, right? Like you can write Mike, you still have people write business plans, right? Like you can write this business plan, and I'm like, well, that's talk, right? But then we go and put it in numbers. You need to translate that talk into numbers to then build budgets to be able to, where's Cody, right? So we can get money from Cody, whatever it is, we need the underwriting template. This translates everything we're doing into real numbers. And then ultimately, when you start buying your properties, you have something to compare it to. Brent's made it. Good morning, Brent. Mike was talking about it yesterday. He was talking about his Pacolette deal when he was crying, whining and crying about, I should have 10 move-ins this, blah, 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 that. And Mike's like, nah, man, underwriting template says +3. You were +3 last month. What's the issue? Right? When you're building these underwriting templates, you're building it at a time when there's no stress of the bank asking where the payment is. There's no stress of some dude breaking into your units because he stole 2 U-Haul nights the night before and then broke into some dude's unit and stole a whole thing of pistols. You can't tell that just happened to me. It's just real shit, right? And when you got all these external forces, then imagine like, yo, you get a deal under contract, you buy it, but then you never did an underwriting template. All this shit happens. How are you going to even underwrite that deal? Or what about the opposite? What if it goes really, really well? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be +10 every month. Then you get your dick kicked, right? It doesn't make sense. You're better off having an underwriting template that you know and that you understand, that you can build on and do it when you don't have the pressure of all these other things going on. And you're being realistic. If you think you can get 5, throttle it down to 1, right? And we're going to cover a lot of that stuff in the 201 section. But I just wanted to kind of go over the importance of the underwriting template. Hopefully that makes sense.